All right, we are back for another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House. And tonight, we'd like to welcome to the show DJ React.
Yes, yes.
2 hours.
Welcome,
What's up, man?
2 hours of traffic.
Yeah,
Welcome
bumper
to
to
the
bumper, man. What's up, man? Nice to meet you
Thanks for
guys.
coming down. We
Thank you.
it, man.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. For real.
So how's it going, man?
Everything's good,
How's
man.
DJ life
No complaints. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I heard
it's,
you warming up. You've been playing for a long time.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while. About 20 years now. So,
So you're a veteran.
you could call it that. You call it that.
Fat.
OG.
OG.
I heard the
Yeah.
chirps.
So
Shout out to Jazzy Jeff. He invented those.
you're a Westchester guy?
Born and raised in the Bronx.
Oh, the Bronx,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Born and raised in the Bronx, City Island. Some people call it the Bronx, but some people don't call it the Bronx. I don't know why. It's like they call it like the seaport of the Bronx. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The BX. You know, it's like the suburbs of the Bronx. You know.
Okay.
Born and raised in the Bronx.
Born and raised in the Bronx.
I mean,
Yeah.
being in the Bronx, I mean, a lot of hip hop influence.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I it's like all I listen to, man. You know, I'm an encyclopedia. It's just one of those things. I just, you know, had a love for it growing up. You know, I don't know if a lot of that had to do with me growing up in the Bronx, but I was just around the culture. You know, my entire upbringing. So,
Yep.
yeah, man.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
34. I had to think about that for a second.
Okay, yeah. So you were.
Well, actually, you're still young.
You're still young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
too
still-
old. I got some legs though.
That's good.
You know.
Yeah, but 20 years in the game. I mean, look, you started DJing 14 years old.
Yeah. 14 years old with a broken ass. I could curse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
you say whatever you
A
want.
broken fucking 1200 and a boom box. I'm playing instrumentals on the boom box. You know what I mean?
I asked you your age because I want to know if you were in the BX for like the barbecues in the park and stuff like that.
Oh, I was a little young for that. You know, I was a little.
Yeah,
I was a little too young for that.
That was,
but,
and that might have even been before he was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely before he was born.
yeah. I was a little too young for that. You know, but I was around for the, you know.
So you never touched house music?
I mean, you know, I dibbled and dabbled a little bit. You know, but nothing too, you know, nothing too crazy. You know.
So who was the DJ or what was the person who gave you the bug to start playing?
Qbert, actually. Invisible Scratch Pickles. If you don't know them, fucking look them up. He's an alien. I don't know if you've ever seen him
Yeah,
DJ.
of course.
But you know, like I said, coming up, I was just kind of just like, yeah, I'm gonna play this instrumental on the fucking boombox and just with a Gemini Scratch Master, you know, and just practice, you know, practice, and that's literally all I did. You know, I used to take my lunch money that my parents gave me, you know, and just go to Love Music on North Avenue in New Rochelle and just fucking buy records and starve, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way I was. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's you know.
$4.99,
Well, you
$5.99
had-
for a
yeah.
single.
If you were working, you had to buy records every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week, you know, and you had to buy doubles too, you know, if you were, you know,
Yeah, of course. I bought doubles everything.
yeah, you had to buy doubles of everything. So $20 lunch money for the week, I was fucking spending it all on one shot on Monday
Buying
on,
four
on,
records,
on
right?
2 songs and four and four vinyls, you know. So, you know, so yeah, that's how I started, man. You know,
But what was crazy in those days is with buying the records, the one good thing about that was that the music didn't come out as fast, right?
That's
so
true.
Like, you know, you had joints that would come out, but like you'd be able to go and buy records and be up to date.
Yeah.
You know, over a 2-3 week period.
man, I used to hear shit on the radio, and I used to bug out like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, I need to go. Like, what was that? You know.
Yeah. Sometimes it took a while before it got.
It would.
released, yeah.
Or you know, you get what was it called?
Until
Killer
Killer
Cuts.
Cuts came
Killer
out.
Cuts. Yeah. The Killer Cuts.
Came out. You heard a song on Monday. Friday was Pressed.
Yep.
And then Beach Street.
Yep. Or Music Factory on Fordham Road. Music Factory on Fordham Road was a spot. Love Music in New Rochelle was a spot for us. You know, I mean, that's
Yeah.
where we.
Yeah.
That's where I shop.
Did you ever venture into the city to go shopping?
Yeah. I used to
Rock and
teach
Soul.
at Rock and Soul. I used to teach at Scratch
Okay.
back in like 05. Shout out to Scratch DJ Academy, and you know, I Fat Beats was right there.
Yeah.
So I kind of discovered Fat Beats from working at Scratch. Like, I've always heard of it, like, you know, people, you know, the ciphers and all that stuff that used to go on in there. And when I walked in there, I was like, oh, it just like fucking blew my mind, like all the stuff that they had and just the vinyls that they had. I was just like, oh my god, like, you know, yeah, Fat Beats was a dope spot. Rest in peace, Fat beats.
So Q-Bert gave you the bug.
Q-Bert gave me the bug. Mixmaster Mike gave me the bug. You know, coming up, I didn't give a fuck about parties. I really
You
didn't.
just wanted to scratch.
I just
But
wanted to
think
get the.
a lot of look when you came up at that time. Everybody, if you didn't know how to scratch, no one really respected you in the game.
Right, and now it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Now, you know.
Yep.
I mean, and it's kind of like the gift and the curse. You know. I mean, I could still play a party. You know, because I had to adapt to that. You know, trying to make money. You know, in my teens and coming up, because at first I was kind of like, fuck, like you put all these people in front of me and I'm like, fuck, I don't know, what the fuck do I do? What do I do? You know, and I'm just sitting there, you know, you know, no, that's not how this works, you know, and I was like,
Gotta
oh
make them
shit.
dance, yeah.
Right, yeah, and I had to kind of like adapt to that. So, but that was good because it kind of like took me out of battle mode. You know, that was kind of like 03, 04. I was doing like, you know, like the Guitar Center spinoffs and like DMCs and trying to get past DMC City Finals, which was fucking impossible because everybody was just aliens. You know, they'd stay home 12 hours a day and practice. But it took me out of that mind frame, you know, and really started getting me into the mode of like party rocking and stuff like that. And around that time, I met Shortcuts. Shout out to Joe, Shortcuts. You know, and I started getting into. I started getting into the party rocking and stuff like that. So
what clubs were you rocking back then?
Man, old stuff, man. Like Dirty Disco was one. Providence. I know Providence is closed now.
57th Street.
I did Deco Lounge a handful of times in Jersey.
That was the spot, Deco.
Yeah, Deco was the spot. I did Thanksgiving Eve there, like 08, 09.
From the BX to Deco, that's a mission.
Mission. But you know, we made it work. So, but it was cool, you know. And then, you know, I got into radio. I was doing radio for a while. I was on Sirius for a while, board opping and co-hosting and whatever the case was. It was cool, man. It was cool. I mean, you know, the pay fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I'll keep it real. You know, the pay was fucking atrocious. But it was cool because it was something that I always wanted to do, and I'm like, as a DJ and as an entertainer, I matured into that. And it was super dope. I got to work with a bunch of cool people.
Was that
you know?
early on when Sirius started, or
that was 07. So I started like
so that was in the early days.
yeah,
of, like,
that was
Sirius.
before they merged.
Yeah.
You know, I started working there. I was interning in 07. So yeah, that was before the merger and stuff like that. But it was interesting, man. Like I got to meet like fucking people that I never thought I would meet. You know. Sure. And I was still young. I mean, this was you're talking 12 years ago. So I'm you know, I was a fucking baby.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck. You know, I really didn't. I had such a, you know, I don't give a fuck mentality back then.
Yep.
And it's just amazing how you like mature into, you know, like a bigger person, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, Sirius was definitely an experience.
So some cool shit that Joe was telling me about that you used to work with the Devils.
Yeah, I was the
New Jersey Devils.
yeah, I did the Devils for 2 seasons as like their you know, in-house arena DJ.
So
and
wait, let's talk about that a little bit, because what's that like music-wise? Like, are you getting like
oh,
a
you're
list?
you're all over the fucking place, man. I mean, like, you know, everything from
Every time out, you're playing music.
yeah.
every
So
break.
it's more or less during pregame, it's actual DJing, which was fun, you know, because I was able to put sets together and stuff like that. You know, for warm-ups and you know, like my director would get feedback from the players and relay it to me. You know, about like what they wanted to hear when they warmed up and stuff. So it was a lot of house music, because you know a lot of the hockey players are from Europe and stuff. So, so that was cool. But and during in game is like, you know, I mean, is people of all ages there, you know. So you got to play everything from, I mean, fucking everything, you know.
Did you get to meet any of the players?
No. That was one of the things that I wish I could have done, but unfortunately not.
What about
you know?
like tickets for the game? They blessed you with any tickets for the game?
Yeah. I mean, I would have to ask like, hey, yo, you know, just slide me some shit, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, once in a while they would, you know. The Jets was a little different, you know. They no fucking freebies over there,
No.
you know. But that was
So were
something.
you warming up the stadium also?
Yeah. During pregame and stuff, you know, like I said, pregame was kind of free reigns, whatever I wanted to play, you know.
Yeah, like prior to the game.
Yeah. And then when the players came out, then it was more or less kind of like what they wanted to hear. But with the Jets, it was dope because the music director at the time, a guy by the name of Rich, he was like, "Yo, you're an awesome DJ, man. Just why don't you just bring your turntables and play during pregame?" And I'm like, "Fucking A, that's awesome." So you know, I was running all all that Yo Gotti stuff and all the shit that the players wanted to hear.
Yep.
And it was cool. Like I got some good feedback from.
Did you get any
players and
gigs
stuff.
from it?
A few bars and stuff. A few bars and lounges in the city that would hit me up to do like away games. Like when the Jets were away and they would have
Yep.
me there to DJ while the game was
Oh,
going
that's
on and
cool.
shit. Dave and Buster's was a big one. I did a lot of shit with them.
Okay.
So it was cool. Cool experience. And I'm grateful for
So
it.
I want to go to
definitely.
the chat real quick. Lou Mancini says, "What up?"
What up, Lou?
Marty Rock has a
Lou's
question.
Lou's
for
the
you.
guy. What does he want?
Where
Where is he?
How do you feel about current DJs representing New York City and other states and other countries?
How do I feel about DJs I mean, listen, if you're born and raised in New York and
Or living in other countries and they're still representing New York? I guess that's the question.
oh, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't represent New York if you're not living here, That's just me. But
Oh, that makes sense.
Marty's my guy, man.
So
Marty's good people.
Marty lives in Jersey and he represents New York, right?
No, does he?
Nah.
No. Marty's in the tri-state. Marty's in the tri-state.
Marty-
Marty is exception to the rule,
Marty's a big supporter of the Function House too, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
really shows us love all the time and spreads the word for the Function House.
Yeah. This is a dope spot, man. It's really nice,
Oh,
clean.
the current DJs he's talking about. The current DJs that are out of state representing New York.
Listen, dude. I don't give a fuck, really. Whatever makes them feel better, whatever makes them sleep at night. It's kind of just like, hey, listen, you want to, I know where I'm from and I know what I represent as a DJ and as a person. And when someone asks me where I'm from, it's all New York. Always. It's always been like that. Even throughout like my travels and stuff like that. Because I was living in Connecticut for a while. And people would always ask me, "Oh, where are you from?" And I always say New York. I would never say, "Oh, yeah, Danbury." Never fucking, never. So,
If you get to pick one type of party that you could rock musically, what would it be?
this is gonna sound crazy, but just Jamaican walls of sweating, dance hall,
Yeah.
dirty, just dirty dance hall vibe type shit. Like I love reggae music, and I love those types of parties. That's definitely at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And
I can see that. I can see that.
and hip hop spots, hip hop parties. I like playing open format stuff too. You have to play open format now.
Yeah, you have to.
You can't be stuck in one lane and play fucking one genre, or else you're just not gonna succeed.
What about like classic discos and stuff like that?
I love playing disco, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I do a lot of weddings.
So do we.
Yeah. And I love freaking disco. So, it's it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of the stuff originated from disco anyway.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, all the
House
group.
music definitely
Yeah,
originated from
absolutely.
disco.
Even hip hop, even some of the older hip hop records, it was all disco. It was all disco breaks, really.
Yeah. Or disco R&B. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Here's a question. Another question from Marty Rock. I like this question. Do you feel the DJs killing it in New York City now can hang with the DJs that were killing it when you were coming up?
No. Then again, I'm not really in the scene anymore. And that's just me being honest with you guys. I don't know, outside of like the people that I know on my hand, I really don't know anybody else who really DJs in New York City besides the people that I know who, fucking push play and tweet Instagram the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I see it, but I don't think, coming up, it was just a different type of style, just a completely different type of style coming up. And I don't think a lot of aside from the few that I know that were coming up with me that are still doing it, I don't think that they can hang with any of us. I really don't.
Yeah.
Do you miss playing in that circuit or playing in the clubs?
Yeah, I do. I get the itch a lot.
What do
I get the
you
itch a lot.
miss most about it?
Just the feeling of
The
having
control.
the fucking crowd. Yeah. It's the control.
Yep.
100%. It's the control. You know what I mean? Or playing a sing along or whatever it is, and hearing the whole fucking place go nuts. Yeah.
Listen to them sing.
Yeah.
It really is a
I get a
dope
taste once in a while at a big wedding. If I'm doing a wedding, 300-400 plus. But it's nothing like, you know, a spot, you know.
So what made you get over into like the mobile circuit side?
Money. It's just money. It's about the fucking money, man. Like I like there was no, you know, and I can't say I can't speak for everybody who's DJing in clubs, because I know a lot of DJs right now who are successful and are DJing every night and are doing clubs and making a lot of money. But it was about the money for me, man. Like I wasn't making money, you know, and I wasn't DJing for $150 in a fucking hookah. So I wasn't gonna do it. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's money. And I'm home at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, you know, being out till 5, 6 in the morning for me and now is just like, you know, I ain't.
That's
whatever.
the hardest part for me right now.
Yeah.
Is being late.
It's tough,
late.
man.
I don't like being out late.
Nah,
I don't
bro.
like being out at 4 or 5.
I want to be home at 11 o'clock with my wife, chilling, smoking, and doing nothing. That's all I want to do. You know, watching TV. That's just me. You know, that's just the way I am now. I don't, like I said, I don't know if that's a maturity thing or if it's just kind of just like, fuck it. Like, I don't want to be out after 1 o'clock. That's it. I'm done. You gotta, you know, I'm tired, bro. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some senses, the DJ world can sometimes be a lonely game.
Yeah.
You know.
I hear you.
It's a grinding business, especially like the people that are in nightlife. So
Right.
It's, you know, so that's a challenge. So you have to learn how to sort of separate that out and just go about your business and focus on, you know, DJing.
Right.
And sometimes that's hard. You know. For
Yeah, it's
people,
very hard.
You know,
like you know, my buddy Quiz is he's G-Eazy's tour DJ. And I mean, like,
I'm constantly on the road.
I absolutely 150% applaud him because he's on the road all the time, and he's great at what he does, you know. But he has a wife and kid as well, and you know, I really applaud him because I personally would never be able to do it, you know. So yeah. You know, that takes a lot of patience, man, and a lot of heart,
I mean,
and I really salute
mean,
him for that, because.
I think it's any job where you're traveling. I mean, it's got to wear on you, just the traveling and being away from.
Oh yeah, the
home
traveling sucked. Like I was, like, you know, even like I did a little stint with I did a little stint with Marcus Houston. You know, I mean, like, super short stint. You know.
Yep.
And you know, it was like 2 weeks. This was a long time ago, and like I was just fucking exhausted, man. Like, damn, I don't want to do this. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the traveling is cool, you know, but it's exhausting, man. It really is. You know, it's exhausting. You know, and even when I was doing cruises, you know, I was away for 6, 7 weeks a clip, and I just.
So what was that like?
That's dope.
That was cool, but it was you know, it was
You were on a cruise ship for 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yeah. It was 6 weeks at a time.
So how many days you work? How many days you're off?
Every day. It was an everyday thing.
Really?
DJing, yeah. Whether or not I had a schedule for the whole day and night, or if it was just like 1 or 2 hours in the morning. Excuse me. It was a 7-day-a-week grind. You know.
So was this for like a big cruise line?
Yeah,
too?
the pay was good. I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have taken it if the pay wasn't good. You know.
That's a cool gig.
Yeah, it was cool. That was something actually that through Scratch when I was working from Scratch.
Right?
Super commercial.
No
bro.
curses at all.
Super commercial. No, I mean at the nightclub, that, you know, because at the club on the boat, you know, they like after like a certain time they kind of give you free reign. You know, you could do whatever the fuck you want. But it was a lot of commercial stuff. You know.
Did you get seasick at all? No. I mean, being on
you
a
don't
boat.
even feel like you're on a boat.
You know?
No. Those big ships, man. You don't feel shit.
But sometimes you go
do.
through like
Some people
those
do.
rocky.
Yeah. No, I never been seasick. I don't know. No. Cool shit though.
The Jersey Devils, the Jets, the cruise ships.
Yeah, man, jack of all trades, you know.
What would you say your most memorable moment as a DJ is?
Probably Sirius, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I got to meet so many fucking people. It was just, I mean, I was up there for, I don't know, 5 years, you know. And it was just something that I never really
stretch.
Yeah, it was something that I never really envisioned myself doing until I got out of school, and I was like, oh fuck, you know what? Let me try this, you know. And I fell in love with it. And it was cool, man. You know, like the people. I mean, like shaking fucking Paul McCartney's hand. Like I never thought I would be able to do that. You know, ever. Like that's
that is cool.
Yeah, you know. So
you got pictures with these people?
I wish. I wish. No, man. The only people I got pictures with, I think, is like Ice-T, and Common, a couple other people from when I was at Shade. Shout out to DJ Wonder. He probably doesn't even fucking remember me, but it's all right.
Yeah, we had Wonder on the show.
Yeah. Wonder's a cool dude, man.
How was your stint at Scratch Academy teaching and doing that stuff?
Interesting. Super interesting. I went up there because I was prepping for DMCs.
Okay.
And I walked in there and I said to the girl at the front desk, like, hey, I need a one-on-one session. Not with you, with I need a one-on-one session. I need a one-on-one session, with an instructor. And she was like, okay. And she introduced me to this kid Jay Smoke. Jay was with the 5th Platoon. Shout out to Jay Smoke. And Jay was down with A-Track and Craze and like all those dudes. And, chopping it up with him after our session, I was like, hey man, like, do you guys need any help here? And he was like, yeah, you want to come by and help out, that's fine. And just helping out, not getting paid led to, one thing led to another. And, they kind of were just like, hey, you want to start teaching, one-on-ones? And I was like, yeah, cool. So then I started teaching one-on-ones. Then they put me in Brooklyn High School of Music for a while. And I was teaching, they had like a DJ elective class there. I was teaching there.
Did you enjoy teaching?
Yeah, it was cool because it's something that I love to do. If I was sitting there teaching something I fucking hate, then I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
But being able to teach young kids, seeing like young kids who are like actually like really love to DJ, like teaching them like just like the mechanics of a fucking turntable.
Were there
interesting shit.
Were there any notable DJs that were in the school at the time that went on to become like
Precision?
Okay.
That's where I met Precision. Shout out to DJ Precision. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
But he's a fucking alien too. He's an absolute alien. I met him. I met Rock Raider, rest in peace, Rock Raider. That was like the highlight of me being there, was being able to chop it up with P.
That would have been my most memorable moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was after Precision fucking embarrassed everybody at the Guitar Center spinoffs. Rock Raider was there. I don't know if he was one of the judges or whatever. I don't know. I was drunk, but being able to meet him was awesome because he was one of those dudes who I looked up to too. Coming up, trying to get into battling, and who would have thought, man? Like a couple of years later, he would pass away. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, we definitely want to hear what you got for us tonight.
I got some.
You have
I got some
something
shit.
planned?
No, not really. It's funny because I haven't touched turntables in like 8 months. I told you guys before the show started, and during the week I was kind of just like scrolling through my music and like throwing shit in a crate, and I'm just like, like every time I DJ, I don't. This is just me. I don't fucking prepare. I don't prepare sets.
Me either.
Like a lot of people, a lot of DJs, I don't, like prep stuff. I don't know. Like to me, it's just it's more fun, or I'm involved a lot more when I don't prepare shit. So the answer to that question is no. Everything is completely freestyled off the top of the head. I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna play, but I'll get busy. So I'm not really worried.
That's
all right. It's awesome.
All right, well, we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna take a minute break. We're gonna get DJ React up on the
Yes,
set.
sir.
Peace.